1978 Mercury Zephyr Z-7. Man, this is one of my favorite cars, and we got one. I got one. This one's my car. It just needs to be refreshed. I keep wanting to call it a Fairmont Futura. It's not. I think I'm gonna watch up there.
I am. Everyone's gonna watch.
I got my feet all tangled, cords and stuff. It's a Mercury Zephyr Z7, which is the same thing as a Fairmont Futura, except it came from a Mercury dealer. It needs a little work here and there. Last night, Kim got in the carburetor and it was not running perfectly, and she got it running really well because there was some crud in there. She got it out.
It's gonna take a minute for fuel to come up.
Now the whole place smells like gasoline, and we got that furnace going.
Well, it'll make the furnace burn good. Did I put the coil back on? No, I didn't put the coil wire back on.
There's your problem.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Take two. Hit the throttle a little bit. Let it go. Press it again. Try holding it open.
Okay, I pumped it twice and that got some, so it probably didn't have enough fuel. I don't know what's going on. I'm lost.
Try it now.
Okay, we know the problem now.
I probably need to adjust
Okay.
the idle.
Before, when it was cold, the engine like this, I couldn't take my foot off the gas. I got my foot off the gas right now, it's running.
Oh wow,
So, whatever you did made an improvement.
that's great.
Of course, it is warmer in here, but not that warm.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I have the,
It's a cold engine.
I have it shut the throttle shut the whole way.
Okay, so, I got my foot off of it, so you gotta put a little adjustment.
You want
something.
more?
Well, it probably needs to come up a little bit. Of course, we don't have a choke.
Yeah, there's no choke.
It's coming out the tailpipe. What?
The tiniest bit of white smoke.
Oh, it didn't like that.
Are you holding the throttle at all? No way. Well, heck, that's pretty good. Put it in gear, see if it wants to stall.
Ah, man, I'm all fueled up here. Exhaust fuel.
If you put it in reverse and hit the gas, does it just stall?
Hang on, I'm gonna power brake it forward. Wouldn't do that yesterday. It just quit.
So I made some improvement.
Oh yeah, you got some passages unclogged.
Good deal.
So maybe I don't have to buy a carburetor.
Not yet, at least.
It'd be nice to see a shiny new carburetor, but really though, we need to make it work.
Well, when we put the new engine in, we'll put a new carburetor on that one.
The new engine.
No, yeah, no sense spending a
We
bunch
have
of
no
money on
idea
this
what we're doing.
six-cylinder.
It could be
Could be 2 years.
small block Ford. It could be a bigger small block Ford. It could be a Chevy. I guess we could even put like a 360 in it, Chrysler.
351 Windsor, Cleaver.
Yeah, Cleaver. Oh, that'd be. See, I don't really need that. This is actually probably kind of nice to drive, you know.
I bet it is. I bet it's a lot better now. I bet it's got a lot better road
The
manners.
problem it had before was like getting away from stop signs.
reverse burnout in the garage?
No burnouts. I've had them with 4 cylinders and V8s. Never had a 6, so this is a 200 cubic inch 6. And it runs great. It really runs well. Drove it up here from Texas. A heater core leak. So heater core is disconnected. We got a new heater core. Gonna have to put a heater in it. That's not gonna be a fun job, but that's probably the worst thing on this car. Transmission shifts great. I mean, it's like a new transmission. It shifts so well. But I noticed somebody had put a transmission cooler up front, and somebody put a big radiator here. You know, a 2-inch thick aluminum high efficiency core. Pretty nice radiator, really, for a Chinese radiator. And the window on the driver's side, the side window, they had a piece of, oh, gonna drop stuff. Yep, piece of plexiglass or something in there. Didn't crank up and down. It was taped in place. Kim pulled the door all apart. And we've got a new window for it. Man, we bought this supplied us with a new window, so that's a pretty good thing. It's in the back seat. The upholstery in this car for 1978 is wonderful. It was a garage kept car since it was new. So this door doesn't close perfectly, does it? So the car's pretty nice. I mean, I get in it, it feels just like the Fairmonts I had when, you know, like 35 years ago, which is amazing. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. It's in the shop, and we got some things to do. Yeah, Z-7. That's a silly name. But this car came from Texas, and it spent its whole life there in a dry environment, and it was kept inside. Yeah, there's not a spot of rust anywhere. The body's in good shape. No damage or anything. If there is, there's like a couple little dings or scratches or something, but no body damage. It's never been wrecked. Pretty nice car. We've had it for 2 months, but we had other projects. So now this one's in here, and time to get to work on it. I'm gonna drive it to the grocery store, drive it to Walmart, and go to my doctor's appointments, and then we're gonna go to No Name Nationals. So I'll race Kim with her Dart, and I know there's a couple other people with slant 6s, and I think there's somebody else with a 200 cubic inch, one of these in a Mustang. You know, we'll all have fun racing each other. Why not? This thing is attached to the window, to the glass part, the actual window. And this is where this slide right here, this thing is supposed to slide in there. It doesn't slide very nicely because it's worn out and it's ruined. It's a plastic thing that slides in there, and that was probably grease at one time, 47 years ago. So we'll have to clean this all up and grease it up. We'll have to get a new one of these, whatever the slider is in here, or
that
we'll make
slider
new one.
mates to the window crank. Do you have the window crank behind you?
Is it that thing?
Yeah, that's the ball. It goes into there. It's like a press fit into there.
Okay, that plastic thing's pretty much ruined. So we'll either have to make a new one out of plastic, or we'll maybe we can buy those. I don't know. And obviously that thing right there, it's supposed to slide in there very nicely.
Yeah,
I want to set this somewhere.
And that window crank did not have to come out of the door, but it had to come out of the door.
You took it out because you wanted it to, because it's all nasty, and you want to clean it up and lubricate it, make everything work right.
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't worn out and that it was well lubricated. Since we have the door all apart, and then the door needs cleaned out really good.
And then these rivets. This thing was riveted to the glass with these rivets, so we'll take these off, and then we're going to put, I measure them, they're 1/4 inch. Put it all together with bolts and a little bit of Loctite. So so we know they don't come out. I'm sure in the factory they don't want to put bolts because it takes too long to do that. You know, the rivet, they just takes a second and just bam, 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 and it's done, you know. And we're going to do it nice, and we don't have the rivet gun that puts these giant rivets in, so why not just use bolts? You know, I did a Ford van, my Ford van, it's got 300-something thousand miles on it. I've done it twice. It had rivets originally. I did bolts, and then I had to do it another time. It has a big cable that goes around. The stupid cables break, you know. So the second time, it was nice. I just unbolted everything, and then little dab of Loctite, put it all back together, and it works fine. So bolts aren't a bad thing in here. Bolts are a good thing. So this piece, we can save it except for this slider, which is really doesn't slide nicely.
That's got to be a common replacement item.
You made good stuff out of some kind of spatula one.
I hope I don't have to make one out of a spatula.
You know, you crank the window and it's like a curved rack and pinion, and that's all gooey and messy. It needs to be cleaned, and you know, it's 47-year-old lube from whatever factory this was built in. This has some surface rust on it, but it's not terrible. These doors have some slots down there in the bottom where if you get water in there, it's supposed to drain out. And if you take something like this apart, make sure those are all cleaned out. And if there is any rusty business down in there, clean it all up and coat it with something that'll stop the rust, and make sure those drains are open. Yeah, and this one has some mud daubers or something got down in there. There's two things that go up here. It's like a wiper and then like a felt thing, and it's called a sweep set. And I ordered a new sweep set from a place that makes sweep sets. But I think we can get this channel in bulk. But if we can't, we'll order that from them as well.
It's the driver door. You want it to work.
What is this? Oh, this is the release. Okay, so this is there, and of course this latch needs to be lubed because you got to slam to make this thing work, and then everything is loose in here. The one on the passenger side doesn't have so much wear on it. It closes pretty nicely, so it'll probably just need to be lubed. But this one's going to need a little. How about this thing?
It doesn't move too easily.
No, that's what this is, and it's not nice.
I mean, it
needs a little work.
It's the driver door. If you're gonna daily drive it, you ought to just really. It's already apart.
I've had cars I had to climb in and out of the passenger side because the driver's side was smashed. That wasn't fun. I'd rather get in and out the driver's door.
And while I'm doing all that, you could start taking the dashboard apart because I don't want to do it.
We have a jackhammer.
Oh man, Sawzall. Just cut it in half.
Oh, it took the tint off the back window. That back window was so dark I couldn't see in the daytime. I mean, I guess at night it's okay, but it's way too dark. So Kim started peeling it off, and you can see the result here. She's in there with a heat gun and a razor blade trying to make it happen. Kim, I think you started something you don't want to finish. This is like a pick job. Why'd you start this? You knew I didn't like it, so you decided to do it. I'll see how far I'll take the side off. That's not the blue light from the right lights on the blue side. No, it's around 6,600. I'll get you. This window right here, I bet you can't even see my hand back there.
You can't. It's blackout black.
It's a blackout. It's, yeah, like, what do they call that? Limousine tint?
Well, I want you to calm down because you're real excited about this whole video.
Calm down.
Right? That's not normally how you do it, but just I want you to bring as much energy to in a direct and concise way as this is a 78 Mercury Zephyr, and we're going to make it run the best it's run in 20 years.
Buffalo Campo here with my new car, new 47-year-old car, Fox body that I always liked, but this one's a Mercury. I've always had the Fords. No, I had one Zephyr before, but it is a station wagon. But anyway, it's a Zephyr Z-7, which is the same thing as a Ford Fairmont Futura, and this is going to be my daily driver, but it's got a couple of things that need to be worked on first, so here we go. What is that?
Now that we did the video, I want you to tell me what the video that we just did is about, but I want you to tell me as if we didn't just do it. Like, the video is going to be about the door and the pieces that we just...
The interior, this video is about...
Okay, go ahead.
This video is kind of about, it's about the door and it's about the heater core. So it's like an interior, all the jobs nobody wants to do. We're going to do them and get them done at the beginning of the job so we can do the fun stuff later. And yeah, it's what the video is about. The mundane jobs that are kind of difficult.